everyone. Now we are going to discuss about next topic about the agriculture, about the Indian agriculture. So first of all, I'm going to start again the budget sheet which we discussed before. Yeah, so climate change and agriculture. In the last 4 decades, the level of real agricultural GDP and real agricultural revenue has remained constant, owing in part to weak monsoon in the two of those years. Indian agriculture is vulnerable to temperature increase and is still heavily dependent on the precipitation. India is experiencing net convergence with respect to agriculture. Lack of modern technology has led to poor agriculture productivity. In other words, there has been divergence big time of agriculture productivity. China annual agriculture growth is long, like they are very good in that. India a substantial 1.5% point on average. So growth rate for the richer country has been consistently greater than the developing country. Indian agricultural productivity growth has been stagnant and averaging roughly 3% over the last 30 years. Climate change impact are significant more adverse in unirrigated areas and compared to irrigated areas. And the rain-fed areas are more prone to the agricultural deficit than the cereal areas. The Indo-Gangetic Plain and the part of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh are well irrigated, while the Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand are vulnerable. And India pumps more than twice as much groundwater as China as United States. Impact of climate change on agriculture. Survey highlights the climate change and reduce the farmer income by 20 to 25%. According to the survey, overall there are at least this main channel through which climate change would impact: to increase the average temperature, decline the average rainfall, and increase in the number of dry days. So this is given the effect of the extreme temperatures. See, soya, pulse millet, sorghum, rice, and groundnuts. While we are seeing this figure, there is groundnuts, there is -4%, rice -6%, sorghum -8%, pulse -10%, and soya -12%. Okay, it's kharif crop. Rabi crop, there is wheat, linseed, and chickpea. So wheat there's -4%, linseed -8%, chickpea is -10%. The extreme temperature event, like if we increasing the temperature and decreasing the productivity. Now effect of extreme rainfall, decrease on crop. Rapeseed and barley, wheat, linseed, and chickpea, again it is decreasing order. Groundnut, rice, sorghum, pulse millet, and pulses, this is decreasing order in the kharif. In kharif there is groundnut, rice, sorghum, pulse millet, and pulse millet, sorghum, rice, and groundnut. And in rabi this is chickpea and linseed and wheat and barley and seeds. Okay, mustard seeds. So this is rabi crop and this is the kharif crop. So in a year where temperature are 1 degree Celsius higher, farmer income would fall by 6.2%, and kharif season 6% during the rabi in unirrigated districts. Similarly, in year when rainfall level 100 millimeter less than average, then it will be fall the 15% during the kharif, 7%. Okay. So follow-up actions. Survey suggests that apart from government laudable objective of addressing agriculture state and doubling farmer income, needs to radical follow action. Bring science and technology to farmer, direct income support to the farmer, extend irrigation via efficient drip and sprinkler technology, more crop for every drop. So now this is the graph which is presented by the climate change. So conclusion, first of all we are going to discuss about economic survey. Climate change is the taking toll on Indian agriculture productivity. Impact of temperature and rainfall on agriculture is felt during extreme changes. Climate change, like farmer income will be reduced 20 to 25%. Some impact is more adverse even unirrigated area. Not India total land under agriculture is still unirrigated and rain fed the sector could be trouble. Extreme temperature shock will reduce farmer income 4. 3%, and extreme rainfall 13.7%. In year temperature 1 degree higher, the farmer income will reduce 6.2%. In the year of rainfall level 100 mm less, the income will reduce 15%. Now smart irrigation, what are the mitigation, how can we mitigate all that? Smart irrigation, appropriate irrigation system should be there. Rising water scarcity and depleting groundwater resources, drip sprinkler and efficient water management should be there. Post harvest losses should be reduced, and $13 billion. Only 2.2% fruits and vegetables are stored and packed for consumption. Need to develop technology, local processing, smart packaging, transport facility, using data to continuous improve the efficiency. Agriculture supply chain, sensor, GPS, and satellite imaging can be include the meaningful data. Enable monitor environment and other conditions, can be used to adapt how crop are produced, stores, and distributed. Reduce waste, vital increasing resilience to all problems that can become with climate change. Improve crop and water management, improve efficiency, boost productivity, and minimize the environment impact. Okay, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is given here. Minimizing the climate change require drastically extending irrigation via efficient drip sprinkler technology, and targeted subsidy in power and fertilizer should be provided to the farmers. So this was the graph. Now next topic is about way ahead. Climate change models such as one's development by the intergovernmental panel on climate change predict the temperature in India likely to rise 3 to 4% Celsius. Therefore, in the absence of any adaptation by farmer and any changes in the policy, farm income will be lower by 12% on the average in the coming years. Unirrigated area will be most severely affected, with potential losses amounting 18% of annual income will be reduced 12%, and unirrigated area will be severely affected by 18% losses in that. Okay, rapid improving the human capital, sustaining India dynamic growth. Rapid improving agriculture productivity, climate change and water scarcity will another key to good growth. Fully irrigated Indian agriculture should be drip and sprinkler water management, capture more crop for every drop. And key future Indian agriculture hence should be accelerate great priority resource allocation, replacing power subsidy by the direct benefit transfer. There is need to embrace agriculture science and technology. Renewed agriculture research will be vital, increasing the yield and require all pathology that climate change relates to bring in wake extreme heats and precipitation, pest and crop disease. Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, current crop insurance program, weather based model and technology. Drone examples: Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, drone determine loss and compensate farmer within the week. And to cooperative federalism, GST council to bring together center and state could promising deployed further agricultural reform during raise farmer income. So now what are the main bits? Nobel Prize winner Sir Arthur Lewis argued that economic development is always everywhere about getting people out of agriculture and agriculture becoming over time a less important part of economy. So Arthur Lewis says that agriculture is not that much important, but in terms of GDP and employment. Okay. In the other word, all the goods and successful economic and social developments about facilitating transition in the context of prosperous agriculture, rising productivity in agriculture, because that will also facilitate good urbanization and rising productivity. So delays in appeals and judicial process. Next topic is delay in appeals and judicial process. India jumped 30th place back into the top 100 and first time world ease of doing business report. The government effort to make business and commerce easy and being widely acknowledged the new frontier on the ease of doing business, addressing pendency, delay and blockage in the appellate and judicial arena. Economic survey focus on the need to address the issue of pendency, delay and backlog in the appellate and judicial arenas of ease of doing business. This issue says hamper dispute resolution and contract enforcement, discourage investment, stall project, hamper tax collection, stress taxpayer and escalate the legal cost. The survey suggests coordinated action between the government and the judiciary to boost economic activity in the country. A clear and certain legislature and the executive regime backed by the efficient judiciary that fairly and punctually protect property rights, preserving sanctity of the contracts, property rights, contracts right and liability of the party in the prerequisite for business and commerce. Recent government measure or action to expedite the improve the contract information regime. Government scrapped over 1,000 redundant legislation, rationalization of tribunal, amend the Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Like tribunals are there, arbitration and Conciliation Act is there. The commercial courts and divisions, commercial appellate divisions are there. High Courts Act is there. Reduce intra-governmental litigation and expand the Lok Adalat program and judiciary. So the judiciary has simultaneously expanded the seminal National Judicial Data Grid and is close to ensuring that every high court of the country is digitalized and endeavor recognize this. And however still economic activity is being affected by the reality's long shadow of delays and pendency of legal landscape. So what are the key findings? Key findings are delay and pendency of the economic case are high, mounting in the Supreme Court, High Court, Economic Tribunal and Tax Department. Overall workload of the judiciary increased. So how, like, what are the pendency cases? Like copyright cases are 69%, patent cases are 40%, trademarks 57%, and others are 57%. Total is 58% cases in the High Court of Delhi. And pendency and delay possibility is the reason High Court burden of expansion of discretionary jurisdiction and burden from the original side jurisdiction, like discretionary jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, and special leave petitions and recourse injunction and stays are also there. All these are taking several tolls on the economy in terms of star project, mounting legal costs and contest tax revenue and reduce the investment also. So National Judicial Data Grid is made by there. Supreme Court India launched a public access portal, National Judicial Data Grid, for district court to demystify judicial process for ordinary citizen. National Judicial Data Grid is the part of ongoing e-courts integrated mission mode project. The public access portal will disseminate national, state, district court-wise information about the institution and disposal cases monthly basis. And the survey goes on note that government and courts need to both work together. Large scale reforms, increment, improvement combat the problem that taking a large toll economy. Expanding judicial capacity in lower courts and reducing the existing burden on the High Court, Supreme Court. Consisting lower success rate, tax department could exercise greater self-sustain, limiting the appeals. Substantially increasing state expenditure on the judiciary, particularly on the modernization and digitalization. Building on the success of Supreme Court, creating more subjective matter state-specific benches, and to build internal specialization efficiency in the combating pendencies. And court could consider prioritizing stays cases, impose stricter timeline within which cases are temporarily injunction may be decided, especially when involving government infrastructure, improving court case management and court automation also. The survey conclude by nothing that recent experience of GST has shown now vertical cooperation between center and state. Cooperative federalism has both transformation economic policy changes and horizontal variant, which is coins the cooperative separation of power that could be applied to the relationship between judiciary on the hand and executive on the other hand. Now next point is what is the science and technology. Why investment in the science and technology is important? Like are integral part for long term growth and dynamism in any nation. They are a key driver for economic performance and social well-being. So that's why India emerged as one of the world's largest economy. So India can point to many contributors to global scientific knowledge and technological achievement. So R&D and relative to the its development are there. Investment in science also fundamental in Indian security. The human security resilient needed to address the multi uncertainties, climate change, national security challenges are new emerging threats ranging from cyber warfare to autonomous military system and drones. So important contribution to India is the idea of zero. Aryabhatta was the first person create the symbol of zero mathematical operations based on that. Decimal system was given by the India also, and this is simplicity of the decimal notation facilitates calculations and practical invention much faster and easier in arithmetic. Numeral notation is also given by India in 500 BCE and called its numeral century letter notation system, and adoption the Western words called the Arabic numeral. And Fibonacci numbers are sequence first appear in Indian mathematical and mentioned by Pingala in connection with the Sanskrit tradition and prosody. Later on method of formation, these are given mathematical Virahantha, Gopala and Hemchandra. Okay, this is the Fibonacci number. Binary numbers is also basic language of computer program, 0 and 1. So binary number system is described by Vedic scholar Pingala and Chandra Shastra. And Chakrawala method of algorithm method is Chakrawala Brahmagupta solution developed by the Brahmagupta. And mathematics ruler measurements is also by the India. It's excavation of Harappan sites, and there is the Hasta increments 135 inches. A theory of atom is given by the India. Kannad who given the theory of atom, and the further held the atom sets substance combine each other in specific synchronized manner. Heliocentric theory in mathematics is also given by astronomical predictions by the India. And plastic surgery by the Sushupta in 6th century BCE is given for the illness, plants, preparation of cure along with the complex technique plastic surgery. And cataract surgery is also given by the India. The Sushitra surgical work driven by, and Jamukhi curved needle is used there. Ayurveda is the first birth of the Hippocrates and Charaka authored the foundation of the text of Charak Samhita in the medicines. And Raman effect was the Chandrasekhar Venkata Raman in the physics Nobel Prize 1930s pioneering work in scattering of the light. He got the Nobel Prize. And change in the wavelength phenomena is also called the Raman scattering effect. And quantum theory of Homi Jahangir Baba, like Homi Jahangir Baba 1909, Baba played an important role in the quantum theory and atomic theory also. So Baba was the notable in the Jawaharlal Nehru time, like start the ambition nuclear program because of the Baba. And M. Vishwareya was the Sir Moksha Gundam Vishwareya was the notable Indian engineer, scholar, statesman and Diwan of Mysore also, and suggested India try to be a part of industrialized nation as a belief that India can become a developed industries and block irrigation and engineering services and all that. Moksha Gundam Vishwareya. Venkataraman Radhakrishnan was the Chennai based person, globally renowned space scientist also. Venkataraman Radhakrishnan. An observation theoretical insight helped community in unveiling the scientific ideas. C.S. Chandrasekharan was the C.V. Raman effect was very famous. In 1983 Nobel Prize to the C.V. Raman. Satyendra Nath Bose was the 1894 physician specialist in quantum mechanism and particle of Higgs boson. And the Large Hadron Collider was in the work from him, Satyendra Nath, or the name Satyendra Nath Bose. And Srinivas Ramanujan is mathematicians and contributed to the mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite series, continued fractions, and trigonometry. And he completely masters the book age of 13, discovered sophisticated theorems also. Now recent achievements are Mangalyaan mission. It's highlight India's niche doing cost effective high technology research, laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory LIGO. It's important participating involving 3 major Indian research institutions. And MISC is India's vaccine and generic drug for the million of life world. Now, principal scientific government agencies are CSIR, DRDO, DAE, DBT, and DST, DOS, ICAR, ICMR. These are principal government agencies. uh, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, the Defense Research Development Organization, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science Technology, Department of Space, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Indian Council of Medical Research. Major concerns are poor spending on the R&D. So while growing expenditure R&D is increasing expenditure on science and technology, the survey find the consistently increasing trend, and we are spending just only 0.6 to 0.7%. India is spending on R&D about 0.6%, and as well as that major nation 2.8%, USA and China just 2.1%, and Israel is 4.3%. India is spending just 0.2%. Public investment and the domination or private, also unique in how dominant government is carrying R&D. In most countries the private sector carry out the bulk research and development. Even government must play important role in funding. India and the government is not just primary source of R&D funding, but also primary user this fund. So now this graph is given, like India is performing very well. It's like almost 50% is given in government. Businesses are spending just 10%, and universities are spending just you can see, universities are spending just 10%. Business are spending just 40% in India. But you are talking about the China, there is private sector more spending in R&D. But it's Germany is also same, Korea also same, USA also some, Japan also some, Israel is totally dependent on private sector. So public investment is entitled by central government. Government expenditure on R&D is undertaken almost entirely by the central government. There is a need for greater state government spending, especially application oriented R&D aimed at problem specific to their economic and population. India university play a relatively small role in research initiative because Indian universities are not that much efficient in the technology. That's why, and talent pool for research as well as generating high quality research output. Now, fewer Indian student enrolling to the STEM. What is STEM? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Despite its poor spending, India ranks its number of scientific papers published is increasing gradually. India ranked fifth in the global research publisher output. India produced fewer patent and weaker domestic patent system according to the WIPO, India's seventh largest patent filing office in the world. However, India produced fewer patent per capita. What way ahead is doubling the R&D spending is necessary, and much increase should be there in private and sector and university. India should invest in educating the youth, and R&D conducted is there, and dark matter, genomics, energy storage, agriculture, mathematics, cyber physics, we should go for there. And vigorous effort to improve the ease of doing business, ease of doing science also. And government recently hiring 450 additional patent examiner creation the system. India resident 2070 will therefore be the welcome and crucial intervention to help fix an existing patent system, and address issue of patent filing side, addressing patent litigation also. Now other measures are improve the maths and cognitive skill, encourage the investor-led research, increase the funding, link national level universities, create new acknowledge ecosystem, take mission drive R&D, leverage scientific diaspora, and improve the culture of the research. So, India has the potential to be global leader in the following area. First is National Dark Mission, Dark Matter. National Mission on Dark Matters is LIGO Neutrino project. There is India's leading. National Mission for Genomics is research in life sciences. Ambition National Genomics Research Project and Science Research Institution is there. National Mission of Energy Storage System, here is also India leading, like this renewable energies, and to will ensure that India can be leader in manufacturing energy storage system, and provide round clock electricity to village also. National mission on mathematics, it's not a capital intensive, but its excellence and universal standards are met in the mathematics also. National mission on cyber physical system, this is the machine based communication analysis interface decision action and control of context of national world. So hugely multidisciplinary area including the deep mathematics using artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, and blockchains. Intelligence in the machine, control system, sensor, actuator, robotics, and smart manufacturing. National mission on agriculture is the agriculture productivity, which is still lag behind. So, a national mission could help overcome the weakness in existing institution of agriculture and research and technology. Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme. So next is Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme, Inspired Faculty Scheme, Ramalinga Swami Re-Entry Fellowship Scheme, Visiting Advanced Joint Research Faculty Scheme. Vajra is there, and main level step being taken to promote scientific research in India. So Ramanujan Fellowship Scheme is the scientists and engineers from all over the world to take a scientific research, and Ramanujan Fellowship are only for those candidates who are doing postdoctoral abroad and not for the people who already have permanent position in scientific organization. The fellowship, the science specific and very selective science are covered in the fellowship. The Ramanujan Fellowship duration is 5 year only. The Ramanujan Fellowship scientific institution and university in the country, and this is the scheme managed by Science and Engineering Research Board under the Department of Science and Technology. Next is Innovation in the Science Inspire Scheme. Inspire scheme for Department of Science and Technology to communicate to the youth, to attract talent in the science, and to strengthen expand the science and technology. Two striking features are a scheme for early attraction talent and higher education and research also. Ramalinga Swami Re-Entry Fellowship. It provides avenue to qualify Indian researcher resident in foreign country. Vajra scheme is Department of Science and Technology, and about the schemes enables NRI overseas scientific community to participate and contribute in the research. And Department of Science and Technology is statutory body Department Science and Technology. So this is all about the budget.